All right.
Hello?
You guys, we are live. We are definitely live. Turn your mic on, Micah. Your mic's not even on, silly boy.
My mic is on.
There you go. Now it's
My
on.
mic's not on.
Your mic's on. I could hear you.
I can't.
I can't hear either of us.
You guys got to turn your volumes on.
My
but
volume's up.
I'm an idiot.
It's all good.
If that's the biggest problem we have today.
I mean, I'd take that. First off, I gotta say you are now listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and you are listening to the best sports talk show
Not in the world.
Not
in the world.
in the country.
Not in the country.
No,
No, come on now. Not even in like the
North America, the West.
how much is that ecosystem? Not the solar. Not the solar
The
system.
universe. You are listening to the best
Oh my
sports
God.
talk show in the universe. We are here live
Are we
for
live on
episode
IG?
7, October 27th here for Coin Toss. How you guys doing today, guys?
Yo, I'm good. I can't complain. You know, like Halloween weekend. Come on now. It's the best time of year.
I'm vibing. It's a Friday.
The fall.
It's a Friday.
Weather's
There's
been
nice lights.
weather's been beautiful.
Oh my! It's been gorgeous, and we got the lights in the studio today. It's
Yes.
providing some good vibes. So
Very
I'm ready
good
to go.
vibes.
Do you want me to go live on IG on my phone?
Yeah, go ahead. Start it on your phone. That way we'll pass it around.
Yeah.
Shout out to the producers in the back. Big Joe Beasy in the back. And we have our other special guest with us for a shadowing. Sir, do you want to say hi on the mic real quick?
What's up, guys? It's Matan here.
Hey.
My dog.
So we got
Big dog, my dog.
a new worker with us. He may or may not be joining the team, but
I think he is. He's
you know,
sold.
hey Joe, get a quick shot of our guy in the camera for the video, just so he can say hi. Get him up, get the up. It gotta go up. No,
He can just look
Joe,
into it, though.
or he can look into his. Oh yeah, go ahead, get him in there.
Yo, I bet.
There we go. We got him in on
We're
the
rolling.
camera.
So we finna just pass this around.
yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah,
pass around the
yeah,
IG
yeah.
live.
We'll start on me because I'm pretty. Come on now.
Oh yeah, so
No, it's worse.
Pretty boy ASAP. Come on.
I am so happy to be back in the studio.
Oh wait.
We haven't been back in a little bit, and you know, it's just the best. We had our amazing interview last week.
Heck yeah.
How are you guys feeling post Craig Carton interview?
I'm feeling good. Honestly, that was crazy. It really was. I really told Craig Carr and he got packed up.
And he told you that
cried.
you'll never come for his job, but
Damn.
he is not worried. But yeah, you know, we had a great interview and we have many more coming up. Connor is trying to set up something cool for us in the coming weeks. We have some professors that we're going to talk to and try to get into the studio in the booth with us.
We got so much going on.
We got
now.
a
Come
lot
on.
of
We
good
Dude,
shit.
we have all this content coming out now with our weekly updates on our rankings for our friend Micah.
Yo, come on now. Matthew Berry Jr. Don't play with me.
Oh, yes. And then next thing you know, we also have Charlotte writing up some great articles about the World Series. She's not here, but we wish.
You know
we
what
wish
else
she
we
was
have?
here.
Shout out Charlotte, but you know what else we have?
What we got?
A Thursday night football recap.
Oh, yes, sir. And we do have that written up by our good friend Connor today.
Yeah, man.
So, Connor, after this intro, please lead us into the great Thursday night matchup that we had this
Welcome
week.
to the Thursday night recap. I'd like to say one of the better games I've watched this season on Thursday night. Not a high bar because they've all been terrible, but the Bills actually beat the Bucs last night, 24-18, closer than you'd expect, which I'll get into in a second. But Josh Allen probably played his best game of the year, I'd say. Obviously, it was 31 for 40 with 324 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Did have an interception that was tipped by Antoine Winfield Jr. It was a big man pick, sorry.
Yeah.
I personally wrote it's the best I've seen him play probably in a good amount of time. He looked quick. He looked great. He was spotting the ball to Gabe Davis the entire night.
So
Yeah,
sick
I thought-
about that because I traded Gabe Davis after like week 2 or 3.
He was getting everybody involved in that offense,
Yeah, so-
which is not something that he's done too many times. It's usually the focal point will be
Stephon
Stephon
Diggs.
Diggs, or maybe we'll get a
Noxie.
Gabe Davis game because we get it twice a year, and then the other 15 he's quiet. But he spread the ball around to guys like that was your
Dalton Kincaid.
Oh yeah, that we'll work on the
if
cues.
you're a fan of the show, you know how I feel about Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid is the next up tight end in the NFL. No one else can argue with me after last night's game. He had 5 catches for 65 yards and added the touchdown on the heels of Dawson Knox being out. IR 4 weeks ish. They're saying.
Yeah,
might be a little longer.
If you're on the IR, I think it's a
It's
minimum of 4 weeks.
games.
So we will.
Yeah.
The earliest we could see Dawson Knox back is week 11 or
12, 13 around there.
Yeah, around that time.
But Stephon Diggs was pretty quiet for most of the game. Did end up with 9 catches for 70 yards. That's a pretty good game from Diggs. Not up to his par, but he still played really well. And someone I'd like to shout out that I guarantee you don't know is Khalil Shakir.
No. Funny enough, I was watching the game, and I think he's number 10 on the team.
Yeah, he is.
I'm sitting here seeing this guy make catches, and I'm like, is that Stephon Diggs? Like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him.
He was catching stuff like a lot of flat routes because, schematically when you lose Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid and him are playing on the field a lot together, you're naturally going to bring out a third receiver. They opted to go Khalil Shakir, which I pretty much stand on. Like, he's definitely the third in that offense, but no one really understands or knows. Like, he was a third-round pick last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he still has a lot of potential. I think.
He's made a few good splash plays, too. He's not a bad contested catch guy. He's a solid route runner. He's got good hands, and he showed it last night, especially with his yak ability. You dump it off to him, and he'll take it an extra 10 to 15 yards. His final line was 6 for 92. It's a nice option that they have now, especially with Knox out.
Yeah. I mean, to the riches go the, big guys. The Bills have been a team that are right there, and being able to find a diamond in the rough like that for a team that's one game away from a championship a couple years ago is always important.
It's very important. And someone else that they hit on in the draft, I think, coming now, they drafted him, I think a year after they drafted Allen, was AJ Epinesa.
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
Out of Iowa, I had a mid-round grade on that guy, and he fell for some reason. I don't know why.
I think he's making his money. Obviously, he was a third round. What overall was he?
Dude, I could have sworn AJ Epinesa was like a late first. But
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, right?
I think. I'm pretty sure. Like, late first round, early second, no matter what.
Yeah.
Regardless, he... playing on the 5th. My reason for asking is he's probably playing on the 5th year right now, and he's going to be going into free agency this offseason. And I think he's making himself a pretty good bag to start the year.
Yeah.
I see him playing a lot of great football. He's twitchy. He comes off the ball really fast. And someone else who surprised me this year is Terrell Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that?
Never heard of him.
Seriously.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Like, what's his face goes down, and this guy's like the next up.
Milano.
Oh.
But real quick, let's talk about the other side, because you did say that it was a closer game than the score said. We got a couple minutes before we move on, but Baker Mayfield looked great out there. And honestly, we've all been talking. I have friends that look at him as a journeyman, but last night he didn't look terrible. 25 for 42, 237, 2 TDs. It was good enough to put them into a one play away from a win situation.
That could have been a tie game if Chris Godwin was paying attention.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. They would have won the game. Yeah.
And I can't do math. Yeah, 24-24 pending that extra point. You're right.
Yeah, so they were right there the whole game. Somebody I've been down on all year that has had a decent game last night, Rashad White. 9 for 39 on the ground, 7 for 70 in the air. I mean, that was the big part for the game for them.
Yeah, and it's the second running back with the last name White in the last few years who's just been a pass catching extraordinaire. Shout out James White from the Patriots. But
I do think it's, especially for a guy like Baker who's not a extremely accurate guy.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a lot easier on the offense. I know Todd Bowles and that whole staff is a very good staff, and they try and harp on not running the ball one way. Like, if you throw screens and you're throwing flat routes, it's essentially running the ball. If you're staying in bounds and you're getting that quick game going, and I think getting that to Rashad White allows Baker to alleviate his accuracy issues, and he has the arm. He always did. So
yeah, I mean, what did you? I want to ask you guys though. What do you think about the side of Godwin and Evans both having kind of good games, except for obviously Godwin's drop at the end of the game? They both kind of looked good last night.
Real quick, just a second, because I was just laughing at something. Connor looked at me like I had 3 heads. I promise, like nothing weird. Like, you know how like I randomly just think of like old NFL players that have no.
Here we go.
Bobby Rainey popped into my head. We were talking about Rashad White.
Who is that?
And like I started laughing. That's just because like Bobby Rainey.
Bobby Rainey.
My fault. Anyway, back to the original question.
Go ahead. No, Mike Evans, great game last night. Godwin, good game until the drop.
He didn't really drop.
He
wasn't looking.
I mean, he wasn't looking, but it's still
poor
drop on
awareness.
Poor awareness. Fair enough. Where does this leave the Buccaneers? they have the opportunity to still win their division. Their division's not that great, and I mean they needed a win.
If they beat the Falcons.
In the
Last
Falcons,
week, I think it was a clear cut. Like you're very competitive in this division, but the Falcons have been playing really good football, and if they don't win the division, they're not making the playoffs.
The Falcons.
It's that.
Oh, Arthur Smith, you were.
he
Why are
hates
you
your fantasy.
crooning to Arthur
He hates
Smith?
Because I have Bijan Robinson in every fantasy league I'm in,
I have
and
enough.
I can't.
Arthur Smith has made it very apparent he does not care about your fantasy team.
Yeah, I don't want Arthur
Love
Smith
the
to
damn
ever
football.
tune into this show ever.
So,
I'll grill you.
I mean, so what does that mean though? Do you think the Buccaneers still have an opportunity at a playoff spot?
It's hard to say. They're
Defensively, I'm looking at these.
Back.
I'm looking at these defensive stats. They're right there. Defensively, they're playing good ball.
They're on the field so much.
Jake
Jake Camarda punted the ball 7 times last night.
They're on the field a lot, but their defense isn't.
Threw a couple
horrible.
punches too.
Their defense isn't horrible. So
The
like,
beast.
how do you fix that? How do you fix that?
I really don't know, and it's hard to pinpoint one issue with the
Now go ahead.
with the
To
team.
continue.
But I do think that there aren't, there's obvious holes. There's obvious holes in this team that can't just be fixed in one day. Like you can't go out and make a trade for, I don't know, a really dominant middle linebacker to put next to Levante David and expect them to be a Super Bowl team.
Could have signed Blake Martinez the other day. Pokemon
shout out to
trading
Pokemon
card
trader.
extraordinaire, Blake Martinez. But
Levante David is probably on his way out soon. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are probably going to follow suit. I don't think it's
Chris Godwin's still got some juice left.
I don't
but
think it's anything better than what it is right now. In the near
So are
future.
are we saying that the season's clipped for the Buccaneers then?
I mean,
Most
they,
likely.
they might hit a wild card game berth, but with like a win in the division. But outside of that, that's probably the peak for them this year. I mean, I don't
I
think
feel like
there's-
it's highly unlikely.
I don't think there's any actual competitors in the NFC that the Buccaneers can go toe to toe with
Okay.
for 60 minutes plus in a playoff game.
Mhm.
So no, there's no one from that division that is going to do anything at all in the playoffs.
All right. Well, unfortunately for them, they were right there in that game. Like we said, the Hail Mary ends it. Anything else that you want to give us, Connor, from that game that you took away from it?
I think the Buffalo Bills are still a very good football team, despite some struggles. But I do think if Josh Allen plays good football, there's not a lot of teams that can beat him.
The Giants almost did.
I mean, yeah. I think the only problem, like you said, is Josh Allen playing good football.
Right.
If he's on, he's on. If he's off, then
When
off.
he's off, he's very off, like extremely off.
Relax.
Am I lying? Did he not have
he's,
like
he's,
3
re- he's
interceptions?
reckless when he's off. That
Yeah,
Jets
that's
game was
the
the
only
perfect
And
example.
that's what I'm saying. And like my whole thing with Josh Allen has always been that he is an individual that plays like he's still in college.
Low key.
So
That it probably derives from him just being able to throw whatever he wanted to at Wyoming. But regardless, speaking of college football,
that segues us right into
Yeah.
our next topic for the day.
So this is a pretty interesting week of college football because there isn't any very super marquee matchups going on. Oregon is taking on Utah though. That's probably the biggest name this week that we got. Bo Nix is gonna
so sorry. Like I wish there was a better game.
really.
I feel like there's always a better game.
There's always a better game. and
You know,
it's-
I mean, there were a few that were interesting, but
nothing crazy. I mean,
you got Uga playing Florida,
so you got
Wash.
Georgia's gonna mop the floor with Florida, like I said. Come
probably, but
Definitely.
on, 110%.
hey, Florida always comes to play when it's SEC ball.
Oklahoma, Kansas isn't a bad game either, but Oklahoma is probably gonna wipe the floor with Kansas.
Obviously, the Oregon quarterback is Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Bo Nix probably in a lot of people's top 5, 6, 7 range for the Heisman Trophy right now. I think is a fair thing to say.
Yeah.
And depending on how he balls out against Utah, because they do have a solid defense, and obviously they're I think number 13 in the country.
Yeah, their
Around
defense
there.
stopped USC.
Yeah.
They've stopped USC 3 years in a row now.
Yeah,
They
it's
own
no
Caleb
joke.
Fraud Williams.
It's no joke to go up against the Utah defense. I think if Bo Nix he doesn't even have to carve them up, but just an efficient day with multiple touchdowns through the air, and I don't know. I think he could easily squeak his way into my top 3 in Heisman contention. I don't know.
Speaking of the top 3, give me yours.
Wait.
Because
we're definitely gonna do that. But I wanna ask though first before we go through that, what are your picks for this game? At least let me know where you going with, because even though there aren't too many good flashy games for this weekend, we still got to pick this Oregon game. Bo Nix is a Heisman contender, which we are going to talk about, but Utah is a great defense.
Whatever the Utah spread is to cover, because we have it written down that Oregon's pretty much favored to win.
6.5.
6.5. I might have to get a little backdoor cover action. If I did bet, I don't bet. Don't gamble.
We do not condone gambling.
We do not
condone.
Not here. Never do.
Yeah.
Never have. Never will.
We do not condone gambling.
Micah, you want to look that up real quick and see what the Utah spread is, just
it's
to give it to him? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's 6.5.
So all right. Yeah. Then. All right. So we're taking what?
I'm gonna take Utah backdoor cover.
Okay.
If I did bet, I don't bet. Don't gamble.
All right, Micah. What are we going with?
Give me Oregon by a touchdown plus. Come on.
All right. I'm gonna go with Micah on this one. Gonna go with Oregon for a touchdown plus. Bo Nix.
Because they're always ganging up on me.
I mean,
yo.
I'm just saying, Bo Nix is a Heisman Trophy candidate. You can't vote against that. But now, let's have this long 20-minute debate. No, not really 20 minutes, maybe like 10.
We got 2 seconds, bro.
Before we roll out for our little breaky break. Heisman. We are in that time of the year. We've seen a good amount of games now. We're halfway through the college football season almost. You're going to roll up to conference championships before you know it. And at that point, if you are in the top 5 conversation, you should be beyond belief compared to everybody else. So for you guys right now, this was our segment. Give me your top 3 for the Heisman currently. And give me a little reason why. Who wants to go first?
I want to go first.
All right, Connor, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I think you should go first, actually.
All right. One of you two go first.
Okay, so in no particular order, my top 3.
You have to do an order.
Okay, fine. I don't. There's like 4 in my head that I'm battling between.
That's me too.
And
I'm
like
the same way.
because
I actually have 5.
Michael Penix Jr. would have been my 1 if he didn't just absolutely fumble this past week against ASU with no touchdowns, 2 picks. So now with that game in mind, guys like J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan are going to slide their way into some people's number 1s. Caleb Williams you can't forget about just from a statistical standpoint. And then obviously Jaden Daniels out of LSU leading the nation in quarterback rating. He's completing over 73% of his passes. He's second in the nation in passing yards with over 2,500, 25-3 touchdown to interception ratio. I know that LSU team could definitely have performed better in some games this year, but just
he does have the best ratio, like passing touchdowns to interceptions, by like he has the most touchdowns and 3 interceptions, which is kind of crazy considering all things considered how LSU hasn't been insanely good.
Exactly.
Obviously, the receiving room in the offense is always good, and Brian Kelly, but I do think that's definitely the best 3, I think, in my head. I think if we're going to go Jaden Daniels, Penix, and JJ, I think is where my head goes.
No Caleb?
Caleb on the outside looking in, probably at 4, and then Dylan Gabriel at 5.
I'm surprised I'm very surprised that Micah has not.
I was
jumped
trying
to
to put my Oklahoma bias aside and not say
He's
Dylan
not
Gabriel.
He's not there statistically.
Yeah, exactly. Oklahoma has outplayed almost all of the teams except maybe Michigan for the guys whose teams we just named.
Yeah.
But the Heisman Award has always been something that statistics are weighed heavily into account, and he's definitely has the least amount of
stats against him.
It's a weird combination of how they think stats and winning.
Yeah.
And it's never really easily predicted either.
All right. Well, I'll give you mine, and then we're going to head out to break real quick, and then we'll come back to continue conversation about the World Series and the NBA season. So that should be interesting. But my top 3 right now, at number 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. Guys, by far the best wide receiver in college football. I'm going McCarthy at number 2, and then I'm ending it with Penix at number 1.
Penix is still your 1?
Yeah, Penix is still my 1.
Shout out Big Lefty.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go right to break. We will be right back to have some fun with you guys. Here, take this little song, Out of This World.
Go baseball.
Never end. And we are back. We are here back live in the studio. We got the girls in the studio. Shout out to Jen and Steph. We always love the social team always being here with us and helping us out with everything, catching all the clips and the Instagram lives and whatnot. But we are back to here to talk sports. So let's get right into it, guys. We're going to go first off with the World Series.
Exciting time of year. Oh, jeez.
You're fine. You're all good, bud.
That's to go down. But exciting time of year. Playoff baseball is something that a lot of people sleep on. And we finally have who's in the World Series after all this time. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers, who
might have been one of the greatest conference championship games for both NLCS and the ALCS I've seen in a long time.
Both series were amazing, and I was so happy to see Houston get knocked out by the Rangers. That made as a Yankee fan
happy as for Houston. As a Mets fan, there was nothing that brought me more joy than watching the Phillies have a 2-0 lead, get blown, and then sit there and forget that they are not as good as they thought they were. So I'm so happy about that. You guys don't understand how happy I am about that. So we got the game on tonight. It's going to be on Fox at 8 p.m. So we got the starting pitchers. What's up?
I got a
what's
intervention
up?
here. My big dog just pulled up a crazy stat for me. I want you to listen to it.
Okay, what's up?
So this World Series will be the first time in MLB history where both teams are named after their state and not a city.
Wow,
that's like one of those ESPN stats, bro.
You know what? Our producer's now becoming the new Hembo. Is he our new Hembo guy?
Hembo.
Our Hembo guy is in the studio with us now. That is perfect. I mean, this World Series, this week, shout out to our good friend Craig Carton. He had Rob Manfred on this week to talk baseball, and Rob Manfred was saying that since they made changes to the rules, like the pitch clock and shortening the bases and different things, no more of the shift. They said that
ratings
have been up a lot,
as they should.
They have been up a lot for baseball.
A lot of people just don't like baseball and they think it's boring, and I think that's ridiculous.
I think I agree.
I think that's ridiculous, but. This is gonna be a good opener. The pitchers we got going in Game 1: Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks, and then Nathan Eovaldi, Yankees legend Nathan Eovaldi for the Texas Rangers,
and for all our Hispanics, Eovaldi.
Oh, did I butcher his name?
A little bit.
My fault.
I got you. No, but they're both gonna be great this year. We have Zach Gallen walking in with a 5.2 ERA.
In the postseason.
Yes, these are their postseason stats, not their during the season stats. But their postseason stats are ERA walking in for Gallen, 5.24, 13 Ks. He is 2-2 with 9 walks. Eovaldi is walking in with a ERA of a 2.4, and then he has 28 Ks, 4 straight wins. He's 4-0, and he only has 4 walks in the playoffs. So,
guy's a beast.
What are we looking at? We got the lineups here on the script. Where we got Corbin Carroll, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year.
Which lineup do you guys like better, from top to bottom?
Let me read the lineups to you real quick, all right? Arizona's lineup: Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte,
you go correct me on my names. Come on now.
Ketel Marte, Gabriel Monroe, Christian Walker. Do you want to do it?
No. I'm just.
Am I butchering it really bad?
No, you good.
No. Okay. Tommy Pham. Shout out to the New York Mets legend. Lourdes. Oh, this one's gonna. You want to get this one? Gurriel.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
There we go. Alec Thomas, Evan Longoria, and Geraldo Perdomo. And then you got for the Texas.
Let me do Texas, please.
Go ahead. I feel like I got that one right. Perdomo?
You
Perdomo?
Gabriel Moreno and Geraldo Perdomo.
Oh, Perdomo.
Perdomo, my fault.
Perdomo. I'm definitely going to lose my job.
Batting first. I did all that.
Please do not. No, go ahead.
We got
Texas.
Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, batting second, Evan Carter, Adolis Garcia, Mitch Garver, Jonah Heim, Nathaniel Lowe, Josh Young.
Jung.
Josh Young.
Definitely Josh Jung.
Is Jung?
Jung. I would say it's Jung, probably.
And
I'm telling you, it's Jung.
Jung, okay.
I don't know baseball. I don't know names, but I do pretty well.
But yeah, no, if I'm looking at both of these lineups, one has a Rookie of the Year on their team.
If little bit of a thing here. I don't know if this has ever happened. I don't think it has. If Corbin Carroll wins Rookie of the Year, World Series MVP, and gets a ring on top of that, Where does that rank as the best?
Rookie-
best rookie season ever.
In
Yeah.
terms of accolades, yeah, that has to be the best. I mean, Aaron Judge's rookie year was,
Pretty good.
but
That's
But-
bias.
no, well, he hit what 50
6?
in his rookie year? How many? 50, it was a 56,
Yeah.
and
No, it was 52. I'm tripping.
52. Yeah, okay,
52.
word. Yeah, but
I'm trying to mess with him.
yeah, no, that rookie. But in terms of accolades, yeah, it'll probably be the best rookie year ever. I mean, he is a generational 5-tool talent, and
I
Arizona
love that word. 5-tool.
5-tool. He is a 5-tool guy. He does literally everything, and he does everything very well.
So who do we got tonight, X? And Micah. You guys can ponder. I don't know who's gonna win, but you guys got it.
I'm gonna just go with the script going with the Diamondbacks after coming back from a 2-0 hole. That's insane. That's hard work.
I wanted the Phillies.
And the Phillies had the most raucous crowd out of any stadium. To come back from a 2-0 hole and to beat the Phillies twice at home, I mean, that's hard. That's real hard. So I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks on this one. Where are you going with? What you going with, Micah?
Okay, so if Zach Gallen can pitch like regular season Zach Gallen, I'm absolutely going Arizona. The only problem is I don't know if he's going to be able to pitch like regular season Zach Gallen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Taking everything from this postseason into account, I really like what Evan Carter and Adolis Garcia are doing in the middle of that Texas lineup. I'm going to go the Rangers tonight, but I think at the end of the World Series, Arizona's going to win it all.
All right. I mean,
that's a good take.
That's perfect. Let's take that to the heart. Let's see the game. If you guys want to watch tonight, it is on 8:00 tonight on Fox.
You don't
Please,
have to, though.
you don't have to. But
you probably
if you wanna watch the World Series, one that's supposed to be amazing and fun, please, you could go find it on Fox.
But you know what's better than World Series baseball?
Texas basketball.
No, actually,
What?
the greatest basketball prospect
That is Texas basketball.
to ever step foot on an NBA basketball court.
I don't know why you looking at me like that?
I
Come on
mean,
now.
I don't
Victor
know.
Wembanyama made his debut, ladies and gentlemen. And
Greatest prospect ever to step on the court?
in basketball,
basketball?
yeah, it has
in
to be.
basketball,
It
easily.
has to be.
I think LeBron is your only competition, and I don't think it's.
Do you? Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
So,
I would still agree with that.
I can talk about this later, but I do want to talk about Victor. In his debut, he had 15.5 rebounds in 23 minutes. He was dealing with some foul trouble, normal for a guy like him.
Yeah.
5 turnovers too, right?
Yeah, he also did have 5 turnovers. And a lot of people are saying he didn't live up to the hype. But if you're watching this game and you're looking at the things Victor Wembanyama can do with the basketball on and off the ball, it doesn't look normal. It looks like it's a 2K mod, and you're putting 8-foot
Like
players
he's-
into the
like-
game,
yeah,
and
like,
he's just dunking
yeah,
from the
like you
three-point line.
created a My Player as a joke, and it turned out to be Victor Wembanyama.
And it worked out very.
Wembanyama. Say
No.
Wemby. Just say Wemby. It's so
Okay.
easy.
Yeah, you could say Wemby. I feel like everybody's using that shortcut.
Probably should be.
And funny here, I actually saw this today. Thank you, producer, sir. Victor Wembanyama and Tim Duncan had the same exact
Identical.
statistical output in
on
their first games.
Yeah.
15,
Wait, so
5, and 2.
Wemby is Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I mean,
And I would take that.
and you got to look at it this way. San Antonio, the last time they had a number 1 overall pick,
D-Rob.
well,
No, Timmy D.
it was Timmy D.
Yeah,
I was about to say it's Timmy D then D-Rob.
Yeah.
And every time they got a first round pick, what did they go with? Some super tall center or power forward.
Yeah.
Timmy D was a power forward, unfortunately, because they had D-Rob for the time being. But how are we feeling about that? What are we thinking? Because I watched the game myself. I don't know about Micah. I don't know if Micah's a big basketball guy,
I was watching his debut at when I was out on Wednesday night.
okay. So what are we all thinking? It looked like one thing I saw in the debut for him was that size still is gonna matter. I know he's been trying to tell people that his lack of muscle will not be an issue for him when it comes to his play, but I think it is. I think like he's gonna need some size to play bully ball down low.
That's why he's playing the 4. And Greg Popovich knows that he's a skinny boy right now. He's what, younger than you and definitely younger than you. But
Dude, half the NBA is younger than him.
the entirety of the
Catches
NBA.
strays per usual. I'm
It's all
sorry.
good. It's all good. You know, when
He
you're
would
old
be the
man.
oldest player in the NBA. I do think that's why he's playing the 4, though. And that allows him to be a lot more creative on offense.
Mhm.
You know, he's not catching the ball in the low post and just doing a drop step every time. We know he can score like that no matter who's on him.
Yeah.
If he gets it deep enough in the post, he's scoring every time. Within 2 feet of the basket, he's scoring every time. But he can also shoot the heck out of the ball. He's
Yeah.
a very,
pull up from 3, like.
and he's calling for lobs from the 3-point line. And
Yeah.
I always said this, and I do believe this like very firmly. If he ends up being terrible for the rest of his career offensively, he's going to be the best shot blocker in the NBA for 10+ years.
Yeah.
That's his floor. And I think that's not even like ridiculous to say because he has an 8-foot wingspan.
It's a crazy floor to think about a basketball player.
That's what I'm saying.
Is like
right?
their floor is a top 5 defensive player in the NBA and a top 2 shot blocker for a decade. That's a floor. There's never been a basketball player with a floor even remotely close to that.
He's so
Yeah.
safe, I think. And especially being in the Spurs organization with quite possibly
The greatest
depending on who you
basketball
talk
coach
to, the
ever.
greatest coach ever. I do think it's a surefire lock for me for him to be very successful.
Okay, so let's wrap this up real quick. What are we expecting? Where are you expecting at the end of this season? I won't even go career because that's too much to predict. But let's just go game 1. This is very, very early. Game 1, though. You've seen a glimpse of him, both of you. What are y'all thinking? Rookie of the year? Offensive rookie of the year or defensive rookie of the year?
See, I wish they did offensive and defensive rookies of the year in the NBA.
Oh, they do not. It's just rookie.
Yeah.
That's right. So
They
are
do-
you
They do the first team, second team for rookies, and they do rookie of the year.
okay? So what are
I think
what are we
Wemby-
thinking?
I want to know the betting odds. Please don't gamble on what it would be
Chet,
for the
bro.
rookie of the year. I think him and Chet is probably going
Chetty
to be
boy.
decently close. Chet didn't really play that well when OKC played, right? Or have they?
No,
played
no, they played against each other in the preseason. They
No,
both
yeah, but
they
they-
both put up like
OKC
decent
already had a
numbers.
game.
Oh, OKC played recently. I did not know that.
Yeah,
but
let me check his stats real quick. But I do think that Wemby is probably the surefire.
It's-
lock.
what about you,
It's
Micah?
probably going to be Wemby, but if Chet put up a fight at the end of the year, if he went on a run, had a crazy stretch at the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if people started to argue in favor of Chet. But again, this is the first, second game of the year. You can't really go too much into it, but
So
Wemby has to have it.
Wemby is actually minus 150 on most sports books right now to win it. Chet is plus 300 area, 350, and Scoot Henderson is the 5th, followed by Brandon Miller, Emin Thompson, and Asar Thompson. Can't wait
the
more,
Thompson
Keontae
brothers
George.
look like they might be great, but
No, they look, dude.
they look
I-
amazing.
I can talk about both of them for hours. I think
But-
they're both gonna be terrible.
Let's talk about. Wow, that's rough. I think they're going to be great, but let's talk about another debut that did happen this week, and that is the debut of Dame
The
Dollar.
best rapper in the NBA.
Yes,
Did,
sir.
Damian
did Miles
Lillard.
Bridges just deceased?
No, we are talking about Dame MC Dollar. We had the final and first.
Dame is a rapper. Did you see he got was it Doris Burke had a bar in one of his songs and he cut it out?
Really? I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's insane.
I mean, who likes Doris Burke anyway?
I like
You
Doris
don't like
Burke.
Doris?
She's a nice lady.
I do like Doris Burke.
She's a
but-
nice lady. Nice to hear her and Coach. What's his name?
Stan Van Gundy.
No, not that's no longer Stan. It's her, Mike Breen, and
love
what's his
Mike
name?
Breen.
Doc Rivers are the new ESPN trio.
How do you listen to Doc Rivers?
Doc Rivers is a commentator now. Or an
It's
analyst
Doc
or whatever?
Rivers,
Mike Breen,
Doris, and Mike Breen as the ESPN trio. It is no longer Mike Breen and the two coaches, Mark Williams and Jeff. Is it Jeff or Stan? No, Stan. Which one is which? I can never remember out of the Van Gundy brothers, but yeah, it's not those three. But let's talk about this Dame Dollar debut. Dame, first game as a Buck, dropped an insane stat line of 39 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. He had 20. Oh God, how much did he have in the first half? 20 something in the 20s.
He had
So,
enough.
well, yeah. Well, somebody will get that stat.
Enough for a whole game. in the
Somebody
first
will
half.
get that stat for us. But him and Giannis,
I got a great.
Shaq and Kobe,
I got no.
Shaq
actually.
and Kobe.
Better.
What?
I think that Dame at his peak is a top 3 offensive player in basketball. If he can play up to the standard that they need him to play, he's gonna be hungry for that ring. I do think that Dame not only is, going to take this team to a height that they haven't been before, but it could be an historical run. If Dame plays out his contract and Giannis is signed too, and they keep a revolving door with all these pieces that they have coming
Keep
in and
Middleton, bro.
I don't like Middleton actually at all. But regardless, I think if they keep those two guys and fill it out how they should, there is no reason why they shouldn't be favored to win the NBA title every single year.
All right.
And I do really think that because
health obviously being a huge factor
health barring, but I mean, look.
I mean, they smoked the Sixers, and the Sixers were a team that was supposed to compete this year in the East.
Was
Even
it a 1-point game?
I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
Didn't they claw back?
They clawed back, and that's the thing. They were
smoke 'em's a bit.
Yeah, no, but at one point, I think it was almost a 20, 30-point game.
Yeah, it was around there in the first half.
It was like it was not close in the first half.
I didn't watch that game.
Yeah,
so.
and I think this is very important to bring up. They were playing the Sixers before this game. James Harden was like, I don't know how to say this, but the security physically kept him off the plane.
And then he went to a house party.
I mean, I'm not going to speculate that part.
No,
but
he did. Like, it actually, there's a video.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
yeah.
I did see a video, but I thought that video looked
he's
like
in
an
his Dennis
old
Rodman era.
I thought it looked like an old video, but
That's a good take. I like that.
That's what I'm saying. Dennis Rodman era.
Regardless,
I do think that
what are we doing there?
If Harden is gone, this team is done. I think personally, they don't have enough. Maxi's good and all, but he's not like a guy who's gonna transcend your offense the way that, like, if he's touching the ball as many times as James is touching the ball, they're gonna average relatively similar point outing, relatively similar with the assist numbers. But I don't think that, like, he's a needle mover, especially if you take James out of the equation.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelly Oubre looked good, but is he gonna give you 27 a night like he did? No.
I mean, Tyrese 31 and 8. If you get 31 from Tyrese,
you're not getting 31 and 8.
30,
from Tyrese
30.
Maxey.
Wait, listen. Let's just listen, just so that we can make it quick. 30 from Tyrese, 30 from Joel. Obviously, is gonna come, and then you're hoping that either Kelly Oubre and they still have Tobias. One of the two of them puts in that minimum of 20. That could be a big three. No or yes. I know it's almost laughable, but being serious.
I'm laughing at a comment currently. Mr. Brian said, Harden and Embiid package to the Knicks for Randall's bum.
No. I'm all right. I am so okay.
The Knicks are going to break up this big three that you're talking about and come and save Joel Embiid's life.
I'm not. I'm all right.
Who's the big three in New York?
I mean, if we're talking in New York, there is no
Brunson,
big three.
RJ, and Dante DiVincenzo.
Brunson, Craig Carton, Joel Embiid. Give me that big three. I'm there.
It's not Julius Randle.
No, not at all. And I'm hoping that the Knicks, in my opinion, personally, hot take, I hope the Knicks do make that trade. I want Joel because one thing I know that I've seen between Joel and Julius Randle, there's a difference. One hasn't given up when the time got hard. Joel cried after losing, but Joel put his whole heart into every playoff game that he was able to play in. It seemed like.
But then
every
he gets
time,
hurt, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, but I see Julius Randle miss a jump shot, cry, and complain that the shot didn't go in, and then slowly, and then he's like
Julius Randle can't hit his free throws,
and then he slowly jogs back to the other side and doesn't get back on defense. So I prefer a guy that even if he's gonna miss all 50, at least he's getting back down on the opposite side of the court to play defense.
My man said Randle would somehow make the Sixers worse.
Oh no, definitely, probably.
Like not even subtracting anything from the Sixers, but just adding
Julius Randle would just make it worse.
Oh my God,
Julius Randle is like the Chase Claypool of basketball.
That's actually a crazy take.
I will definitely say I am still a Knicks fan, and I will not completely trash Julius Randle. He still has to play this year, but I personally am just saying that off of what I've seen in the playoffs, I'm hoping for a Joel trade. But let's move on. We had a Heat Celtics Eastern Conference rematch coming up
tonight.
But first, let's talk about the Celtics versus the Knicks. So that way we have some context for what we might see from the Celtics tonight against the Heat.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to talk about. The Knicks are terrible. The Celtics
that was not a move on. The Knicks lost by 4.
They're terrible, though.
The refs gypped them out of a technical foul in the 4th.
We can't hit our free throws. Like that's
who's we?
I mean.
Oh, you're a Knicks fan too? Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry. Do you live under a rock? Like
where you been at? That's because he's a Miami Heat fan that's just crying about the fact that he hasn't signed anything.
You just mad we won the same amount of titles last year, but we got a higher draft pick.
Bounced Craig.
Wait, quick question. How's Dame Dollar doing in a Miami jersey?
He's not in Miami jersey.
Oh wait, he's not.
Or
Okay.
James Harden.
Oh wait.
Or
Did
Bradley Beal, don't forget.
Don't forget Bradley Beal was one of those names too. I think Giannis
And we're still
was
gonna make
also
the finals. I don't care.
okay without Gabe Vincent.
Yeah.
Nice.
You seen Gabe Vincent in the purple and gold? You see how he looks?
Hey, y'all still need
Max
that.
Max Strus played a game.
You're putting your money on pillow booty Kyle Lowry.
No, he'll be off the team by the trade deadline. Guaranteed.
Okay, we'll see. All right,
I will
see.
personally ship him out.
But yes, debut for the Celtics. Kristaps Porzingis. Holy cow!
I miss him.
Holy cow!
I will always miss Kristaps.
How do you make that sound?
I don't know. I'm a very animated person. I just
fair enough.
work it on it.
Fair enough.
It's
It's from being by the soundboard all these years. You start to just be able to make the sounds with your mouth.
Yeah, I have some sounds here, but we need a better soundboard to so I could just push the button
we just
easier.
make our own ad libs.
Yeah, we're like Migos.
21. Sorry, my bad. Someone punched me, bro.
We said 21.
We need the lighter. We need
like the Lil Wayne lighter flick. Oh, that would be funny.
The West Side Gun. Boom, 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 boom.
Yo.
But yeah, Kristaps Porzingis, the Celtics, they looked really good though in that debut against the Knicks. I'm not gonna take anything away from them because the Knicks were down, came back. Celtics took the lead back from the Knicks, and then it was back and forth going into the fourth. What are you guys expecting from the Celtics this year? Because the conversation right now is who is gonna be the number one coming out of the East,
It's
the
the
Celtics
Bucks.
or the Bucks?
Easily the Bucks for me.
Yeah, Milwaukee. Wasn't that?
We all agreed on that. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, no, we might have all agreed on it, but I'm saying like what you saw from the Celtics in that debut. If Porzingis is putting in 30 a night,
It doesn't.
That doesn't mean that they're going to be above Milwaukee.
Yeah, for me, like I'm taking Dame's 40, Giannis's 30 over Jason Tatum's fraudulent self and Kristaps combining for 60.
wow, you're completely forgetting about Jaylen Brown.
What did he do last night?
I don't think he
He
had
had 11. He had 11 points.
Yeah.
So where did he go? Where did Drew Holiday go too? We don't need Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday defensively, he
He had
did
9
stop.
points.
Yeah, but defensively he stopped Julius Randle. Julius was like 1 for 10,
They put
and I think
Drew on
Jalen,
Julius?
and then I think Jalen Brunson also was 0 for whatever. He was a 0 for against
Yeah.
Drew Holiday.
I think that's the biggest thing for them. Like you have a stopper now. Like you had Marcus Smart, but he's not a stopper to the same degree as Drew Holiday.
No.
I think.
yeah.
I think
Not at
Drew
all.
Holiday is.
He
by
might be the
far-
best defensive
by
point guard
far-
in the NBA.
By far and away the best perimeter defender in the NBA, and I don't think it's necessarily close.
Yeah.
But you know who did do a madness on him? A
Who?
madness. Jimmy Butler.
Oh my goodness. Leave the
Big-
Heat alone. We're
big
not there
56.
yet.
Emo boy.
We're
Big
not there
56
yet.
on
We
his
are not
head.
there yet. We're still on the Celtics Bucks debate though, because that's what's really going on. I'm serious.
I mean,
though.
for me, there's no debate. Like
I don't think there's a debate.
you got Jason Tatum, who
I'd rather
in
have
most
I'd rather
people's
have a
opinion.
$10 bill than a $5 bill. That's what. This
That's
switch
what-
comes
That's
down to.
a great
okay.
analogy.
So let's look up those, because someone bring up their lineups real quick. Their starting five from both debut games for both
I
teams.
can tell you both of them off my head.
Nah, I mean, just for just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Yeah, get that up, and then let's run by that real quick. Then we can move on to the Heat Celtics game for tonight and what we're looking forward to for that game.
I am so excited.
I mean, we know you are. You just should go back to live in Miami.
Wait, what Milwaukee and
Milwaukee and the
Milwaukee and
Celtics.
Bucks.
Milwaukee and the Celtics. Yeah. Well, do you have Milwaukee up at least?
I get the roster. Yeah, the roster.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna
Milwaukee
get
is
that.
most likely starting a combination of Giannis, Dame, Chris Middleton. You're probably going to see some Brook Lopez.
No, I think Middleton did not start.
Yeah, but like at the end of the year, he'll end up starting.
Well, let's see what we.
And he's getting the starter minutes, so
All right. So what are other lineups? You got it?
it's still the roster.
Oh, okay. Well then, just
oh wait, go to depth.
there we go.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go to the game?
Well, no, we got it. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Why don't you just go to the
So
game?
the starting lineup for the Bucks is Dame Dollar, of course.
Yeah.
Malik Beasley's their starting 2 guard, which I do like him.
Okay.
They got Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez, obviously, but they do come out off the bench. Jay Crowder's a very underrated role player. Love his-
Bobby Portis,
Bobby
baby.
Buckets, baby. I love Bobby Portis.
and then
he's
what
a
are
great
we?
basketball player.
And then what are we looking at for Boston?
You got some Marjon Beauchamp in there. You got some Campaign, Pat Connaughton. They have really good role players. But Boston, like,
Cameron Payne, yeah.
you're getting Drew Holiday starting 1, Derek White at the 2, Jalen at the 3, Jason Tatum at the 4, and they started Kristaps at the 5. They got Pritchard off the bench.
Peyton Pritchard. I love Peyton Pritchard.
They got Pritchard off the bench. Sam Hauser, Al Horford. They have no depth. Where'd their depth go?
I mean, their depth went away in
Jordan
the trade.
Walsh, O'Shea Brissett.
It went in the trade.
Luke
unfortunately.
Cornett.
Don't sleep on Nathan Knight, whoever that is. I don't.
Bro, they have no depth.
I mean, that's what happens when you trade away everybody to get Kristaps Porzingis.
Look at the Bucks.
I mean, the Bucks.
They traded more for Drew Holiday. What?
The Bucks have depth because of the fact that they've been building that depth for a little bit. Not gonna lie. I mean, the Celtics blew it up for that.
You're gonna start. Look, I'd rather have
everything on Milwaukee.
Yeah, honestly, their depth is better. Their starting lineup is better. I don't know what you want from me.
So you guys are both going Milwaukee as the team to come out the East.
The only thing that could trouble me is chemistry stuff, but you got 82 games to figure it out, and a whole play, and you got a whole in-season tournament to figure it out too. If you're gonna, want those crunch time minutes that actually matter.
Okay, well, I'll ask a quick one before we get to the preview for tonight. This one is very interesting because you talked about you have a whole season to figure it out. Phoenix Suns, we had a debut for them. They played against the Los Angeles Lakers, I believe, last night.
Yes, they did.
I think the Lakers won. I believe the Lakers beat the Suns.
They won by 5.
But I don't think Devin Booker or
Book and Beal didn't play.
Bradley Beal Beal did not play.
Which left room for KD to pour in 39.
So my question to you guys is, do you think the Suns get it together? They have a whole season because you're expecting them to put it together on a very short basis kind of thing.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Really?
I think the Suns are the second best team in the West by far and away.
What do you think, Micah?
I think it's the Nuggets. The Nuggets are going to be on that podium.
Yeah.
Then you got the Suns and everyone else.
Micah?
Dallas?
Heck no.
Dallas looked very good in their debut.
I'm not saying that they're like this.
They can't play defense, though.
They're not even close.
That's
to
the problem.
Suns.
Is Dallas?
You don't
can't
think
play
that by
D.
the end of the year, you don't think that Dallas has a chance to be on that same level as Phoenix?
No.
Defensively is the problem. They can't play defense. Offensively, they could keep up with the best teams, but
lack,
they can't.
If you're looking at this team, I'm looking at the Suns, and I'm gonna say, oh, you guys need a stopper, but you don't need a stopper if you have 3 guys who can score 30 points and all are half decent on defense. Book can guard. Beal can guard, kind of. Kevin Durant's a great shot blocker. You're starting Nurkic now, who's a great shot blocker.
Our homie over here is shaking his head no when you said Beal can kind of guard.
He can guard a little bit.
He could get a.
Oh, he's
coming from a Washington.
That's right. He's a Washington guy.
He
grew up.
Dude, they have Grayson Allen. They have Josh Okogie, who I like a lot. Yuta Watanabe off the bench. Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, they got some pieces.
This team is deeper than Boston. I'm taking the Suns over Boston. Easily as well.
Well, yeah, again,
You're taking that no problem either?
It's just
especially after seeing the
it's a Boston hate show for me.
Especially after seeing the depth that Boston has. When we just pulled up the depth chart, I don't see any way that you can take Boston over any of these teams right now.
All right, well, we'll see by the end of the year what we have. We got a couple minutes left, so let's give this young gentleman his red meat.
Yes.
What do you expect from your Miami Heat? Is this their debut game tonight?
No, so they actually played on Wednesday night. They played the Pistons. They were up by 8 with 3 minutes to go. Spell took Jimmy out, and it's within 1 with 40 seconds left. Classic Heat fashion.
Did Miami win?
Yes, we did end up winning by 1. Cade Cunningham had 39 points.
He's so good.
He's very good.
I hope he has a great year this year.
Isaiah Stewart also looked very good. Beef stew. But anyway, Jimmy and Bam both played a great game. Jimmy shot a little inefficient for his standards. He shot around 40%, which is, okay for your first game. You're getting the rust off. He had 13 rebounds, 5 of them being offensive.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero shot 29% from the field. You got to be better, dude. You got to be much, 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 much better.
Yeah.
And this team, if you can pull up the starting lineup just so I don't,
real quick,
screw anything up, this team is also very deep. And it's we lose Max and we lose
Udonis Haslem.
God forbid. But look, you're starting during this year. I don't think Kyle's gonna get any starting point guard minutes. I think Josh Richardson's gonna end up being the one. But you're probably gonna get a combination of Jay Rich, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Kevin Love, Bam Adebayo. Off the bench, you're gonna get some Thomas Bryant.
I like Thomas Bryant.
Duncan Robinson, Drew Smith, who I like a lot. Haywood Highsmith, Orlando Robinson's a good guy coming up. You got Triple J, and you also have Nikola Jokic. Nice. Jovic. I like Triple J a lot. I think he's a very, very polished player. I think he's very pro ready. I can talk about this team forever if you.
We know, but no, we're definitely not gonna talk about the Miami Heat forever because we are a New York Knicks station here. You're gonna not leave me hanging. Thank you.
It's insane because like it's gonna come playoff time again, and we're gonna bounce you guys. And like, what are you gonna say to me?
I'm gonna tell you that you are gonna go to Miami and enjoy the playoffs like how we did because you'll get bounced next round.
I'm gonna have nothing to say, but I'm still gonna talk trash anyway.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But you know what time
for tonight?
Yeah. What do you got for tonight?
What do I got for tonight? I think it's probably a Heat loss. If I'm being completely honest with you.
Okay.
I don't think we have the firepower, at least right now. Like Triple J isn't playing. Caleb Martin, I know, is out. Haywood is out. And we're going to probably be without Josh Richardson. Point guard minutes are going to go to Kyle Lowry. I'm not going to be happy about it. He's terrible.
Pillow booty.
I think we need a classic Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, two-man dominance game today. I think you need to pull Porzingis out of the paint. Bam Adebayo and Kevin Love both have to play very well, I think, tonight. Jimmy's going to do his thing. Probably be guarded by Drew Holiday again tonight.
That's going to be a rough game.
No, it's not, because he dropped 56 on his head last year.
Okay, well, we'll see.
On his head top.
But,
buddy.
You know what that means, gentlemen.
No way.
Wait,
we got a couple minutes. We do have a couple minutes, but
we got a couple minutes.
We got a couple minutes, but I gotta fade us out because we got somebody else that does come in after us, so we gotta give them the opportunity to set up. But gentlemen, what do we got left to say for everybody out there that listens into us? We have some amazing content that our girls have been working on this entire episode. We got Micah's Week 8 rankings out on Instagram.
Yeah.
We got the interview with Craig Carton coming out on YouTube for everybody to watch. So that's going to be amazing. And then I know our boy Connor is working on another interview for us. I know the ladies.
If you're a big college basketball fan like myself,
go ahead. Finish what you're saying. Finish what you're saying.
If you're a big college basketball guy like myself, we might have something in the works for you guys. Very special. Don't think it's been done before.
I don't think
doubt
so.
it.
Probably
I really
not.
doubt it because we do things around here on the best sports talk show
in the universe. We got another great interview that Steph and Jen are working on for the girls soccer team. That will be on our YouTube for everybody to look at. And
absolutely no shortage of stuff coming out, pumping everything out.
Literally, we got Charlotte working on a preview for the World Series. So come on. If you got time, look up our socials, all the links and bios. You know how it is. On Instagram as Real Coin Toss, on Facebook as Coin Toss. Follow for all the fun stuff.
If you want to, though.
You want to.
We're not going to force you.
If you want to. We're never going to force you.
So nice.
If you got free time. But we really appreciate you guys for tuning in. As usual, we're signing out. Coin Toss.
Everybody have a good and safe, happy weekend.
Out.